council of Vaishnavas, and they're all Brahmanas. So we need to have a location where we're surrounded by people who basically agree with what we're doing. And as long as the local people like what we're doing, you know, it doesn't really matter what the state's doing. You know, I mean, it's India, so the government's going to change in a couple of years anyway. There's this constant churn, you know, and we don't really care to try to fit in with what, you know, everybody's doing. I mean, we don't do that here. Why should we do it in India? You know, we'll just find a place where people already like what we want to do and who we are, and we just basically locate ourselves in that village, and we don't really bother about what the other people are doing, especially in the big cities, because that's where most of this propaganda is directed. It's directed toward the big cities. That's where all the voters are, right? So they're trying to stir up the voters, and you know, it's just like this in the U.S. All this, you know, propaganda about change, you know, and then once the new administration gets in the office, then it's just politics, the same old politics all over again. So nothing really changes unless the whole system changes. So they're not really serious about this Dravidian culture, you know. It's not like they're going to outlaw Brahmins or something like that. You can't. The Vedas are too ancient. And actually, the Vedic people are in the majority in India as a whole. You know, so you can't really outlaw Vedic culture. You can't really stop Vedic culture in India. India is the home of Vedic culture. You know, and anything else, or these other derivative cultures, are just more or less temporary. So it's not something that we need to really be concerned about. Have there been any more comments?
Well, the discussion has been going on about political parties interfering in temples and like that. But that aside, there's another question from Mother Swati. Babaji, I'm sorry to ask this question, but what if the local Brahmins take you as a Western outsider despite all your achievements?
We don't care. We don't want to be politically involved. In fact, we don't like these towns where the state government runs the temples and like that. We want to be someplace that's like a locally run a temple situation. But of course, you know, we're always going to be certain, to a certain extent, outsiders. Most of us are foreigners. You know, we're coming from a different place. But it's not like we're going to be preaching and taking these people's followers or trying to convert them to our lineage or anything like that. We just want a nice environment for our school, and we're going to be benefiting any village where we locate ourselves economically. That's why I started talking about the food relief program. Any village where we locate ourselves, we're going to be contributing to the local temple in terms of the food relief program, the prasadam distribution program. So, you know, they should be very happy to have us there. And I don't see politics as being a problem, provided that we're located in a compatible region, compatible village area.
Next question from David Lugan. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, Babaji. Can you give us a general idea on the process and time it takes for a U.S. citizen to apply to live in India?
Well, there is no immigration process to India. It's not realistic to try for a foreigner to try to get Indian citizenship or anything like that. India is very protective of its citizenship and only gives it awards it, actually, to people that they see as doing some great service. But what you can do is that you can start a charitable trust, and you can get an entry visa that's good for as long as 5 years. That means you only have to leave India every 5 years. And that's fairly easy to get if you start a charitable trust. So, of course, that's one of the things we're going to do when we get there. We're going to start the land trust, we're going to start a charitable trust, or charitable/religious trust, and we're also going to start a for-profit company, and we'll talk about the details of that at the Janmāṣṭamī festival too. The way you do it is you go there, a U.S. citizen can apply for a 5-year tourist visa. So you go there on your 5-year tourist visa, which you can renew, I think, at least once, and that's a multiple entry visa as it is. And then, once we get everything set up, all of our staff people and so on like that will transfer to entry visa. So the next time they leave India, when they come back in on the entry visa. And you can just hop up to Nepal and come back and change your visa type that way once it's approved. There's always a visa games when you're expatriate. It's like you get used to it after a while, right? Yeah.
This is strange. I don't need a visa. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, now we all need visas. Okay, next. That's it. That's it. Okay. Let's see, now should we do Vishnu Sahasranam or should we talk on the Nectar of Instruction? What's the next verse? He's going on and talking about Rādhā-kuṇḍa. Would you rather do Nectar of Devotion Nectar of Instruction, or would you rather chant Vishnu Sahasranam?
Is it a choice, either or?
Yeah, because we don't have time for both. I don't want to take time for both. Rādhā-kuṇḍa? Okay. Got a little extra nectar, huh? You can always do Vishnu Sahasranama on my off nights. Okay, so we're going to read from Nectar of Instruction, text 10. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya vyakting yadyur jnaninas tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaika nishtastataha tebhyastha pashupala pankajadrishas tabhyo pisaradhika preshta tadvadiyam tadiya sarasi tam nashrayet kakriti. Translation. In Shastras, it is said that of all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord, Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, jnanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Rādhā-kuṇḍa, lake, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Rādhā-kuṇḍa and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, a prakrita bhava, render loving service to the divine couple Shri Shri Radha Govinda, who perform their Ashtakaliya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Rādhā-kuṇḍa are the most fortunate people in the universe. Wow, that's deep.